I only write when I'm inspired, but I'm inspired every day. At the core of it, there's this image that you have, this interior image of something that is absolutely perfect. My son John, about 4 years ago, he and I went to El Paso.
He's 8 now.
Yeah, and we checked into the old hotel there, and one night, John was asleep. It wasn't night, it was probably about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And I went over and I just stood and looked out the window at this town. There was nothing moving, but I could hear the trains going through and that very, very lonesome sound. I just had this image of what this town might look like in 50 or 100 years. I just had this image of these fires up on the hill and everything being laid waste.
The silence, the saliter drying from the earth, the mud-stained shapes of flooded cities burned to the waterline. At a crossroads, a ground set with dolmen stones, where the spoken bones of oracles lay moldering. No sound but the wind. The wooden laths of the ceiling exposed. He stood in the doorway to his room, a small space under the eaves. "This is where I used to sleep," he said.
Well, it's interesting because usually you don't know where a book comes from. It's just there, some kind of an itch that you can't quite scratch. I thought a lot about my little boy. And so I wrote those pages, and that was the end of it. And then about 4 years later, I was in Ireland, and I woke up one morning and I realized that it wasn't 2 pages of another book. It was a book, and it was about that man and that little boy.
Is this a love story to your son?
In a way, I suppose it is, although it's kind of embarrassing. I suppose it is.
What is it like being a father at this particular time in your life? How is it different?
I think you appreciate it more. Yeah, if you're young and have a child, it's, so you got a kid, but to have a child when you're older is, it wrenches you up out of your nap and makes you look at things, afresh. It forces the world on you. Yeah, and I think it's a good thing.
He dried him with a blanket, kneeling there in the glow of the light, with the shadow of the bridge's understructure broken across the palisade of tree trunks beyond the creek. "This is my child," he said. "I wash a dead man's brains out of his hair. That is my job." "My job is to take care of you. I was appointed to do that by God. I will kill anyone who touches you. Do you understand?" "Yes." He sat there, cowled in the blanket. After a while, he looked up. "Are we still the good guys?" he said. "Yes, we're still the good guys. And we always will be. Yes, we always will be." "Okay." "Who will find the little boy?" "Goodness will find the little boy. It always has. It will again." He slept close to his father that night and held him.